right, got it. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. It's the start of the week. Yay. Good morning. Um, yeah, my room looks horrible. It looks like I was getting ransacked for some high price items that I don't have. I need to clean it up, but today I'm doing a little bit more of housekeeping and coming up with listings to bags that don't have listing on Etsy today. I need to take pictures of the 2 bags that I made this weekend for testing, and I'm just gonna like kind of just rest a little too because the congestion is not fun. Um, but the one of the bags both bags that I tested this weekend, they're absolutely cute, very unique in their own little way. The bag that I tested that I made for myself, I literally can't wait to show you. I know everyone's not like the biggest Tula Pink fan, and I told you there's just some of her fabric prints that I like more than others, and the Nightshade Girls is definitely one of them. Hold on, the drawer was popping out. So, yeah, I'd finished the bag, and this style of bag I like, and I've always been kind of intimidated by it, but the way the instructions were made, it made it easy to go through. And I also used the new Till hardware in there for it, so I'm like really excited because it has that beautiful contrast of light and dark, and it's really pretty. I have a lot of little things to do today. I need to start like writing out the instructions for hi it's me hi. Um just little things is my goal is by Friday I have written it out, have the pictures that I want in it so I can give it to a few of my friends to proofread and see if they can make the pattern easily. And if that goes fine, then I'm based on how many kits, and I don't know how many kits I have to make because the classes open up to you guys that are not VIP plus on Tuesday. So tomorrow. So I'll know a little bit more from there. Good morning, everyone. So yeah, basically, I'm just doing kind of like paperwork today and cleaning, paperwork and cleaning. Um, so getting everything ready for my site, doing inventory, a little bit of inventory for Baltimore Comic Con, just like the paperwork aspect. It's not the fun part because I'm not sewing, but it's very important to do that part. Yay! I can't wait to see the prints in person. The prints on the screenshots that you give me, the photos that you've given me, they're absolutely beautiful. Um, so I'm just curious. I always like this is my first time offering 2 different kits that you can choose from. So I'm always curious like what print draws more people in than others. Just like that's the same thing with fabric lines. Like you may think it is, "Oh, it's XYZ," and everyone's like, "No, that polka dot one is the best one." And you're like, "Okay." So, I'm excited to see, what people think. It's gonna be a really cool kit. There's not a lot of components to it. It's a fun little bag to make. So, I'm gonna do, like, black, water resistant canvas or waterproof canvas. I haven't decided because I just wanted to make sure it's super domestic machine friendly. And this has absolutely no interfacing in it. It's just the vinyl water resistant canvas and the chalkboard fabric. So I wanted something that was easy breezy, cover girl, and fun to do. So that way back to school starting, so I thought that would be really cool. Or holiday gifts, like I don't know, I could see an Elf on the Shelf, like with all the elf having everybody's name written down, if they're naughty or nice and all that stuff. But that's just me. So yeah, that's. I'm trying to think of what else I'm gonna do today. I just really need to clean. It's like so much vinyl on one side of the room that needs to be put on its rolls. So I'm getting that. I need to get that together and fold a fabric, and then I would like to prep for tomorrow because tomorrow we're doing part one for the Dunkin' bag. That's going to happen at noon. And then I would like to film a video for Friday tomorrow and film a video the following day, Wednesday, for the next Friday. So I have like video for when I go to these events that I'm not missing out. Like I'm not skipping a beat because like I have two events back to back on in September, and we're already in the middle of September, which is super weird. It is the 14th. It is the 14th. We are literally in the middle of September. No, I'm only offering the pattern to me and to Patreon. That's it. Because I'm not a pattern designer, just something, um, this is just something fun to put together that you kind of thought of on the fly. And I use it a lot in my workroom for rulers and ribbons and things like that. So, August, what? Smee's in September. What in August, Christine? If you're asking about the pattern, I'm going to release it the same day that I release it to Smee, so that everyone has it. So the only different, you guys will have the PDF and the instructions who are part of Patreon, and the people that are at Smee will have like the package, the fabrics, the everything cut out, the AO file, that's so they can cut out the pattern themselves, and the PDF as well as the instructions. Oh, okay, sorry. It's the middle of August. So, yeah, that's basically what my plans are to do. Yesterday, I was just sewing. It took me forever to sew because I was super congested, but Kendall was down here taking pictures. He was like trying to convince me to go put ice pack on my face so I can help with like any inflammation. Um, that's pretty much. I'm probably gonna take an ice pack, just like just ice pack face mask on my face. Congestion is not the best for me. I'm hoping it goes away soon. If it doesn't, I'm giving myself until tomorrow or Wednesday morning. If the congestion's not bad, then I'll go to the doctor. I hate going to the doctor. Like I don't know anyone that's like, yeah, doctor's appointment, totally tubular, right? But I just like I feel like when I go, and this is just me, their excuse for everything is because I'm overweight. But I've had like chronic sinuses since I was like 16. And I was, if you anyone that looks through it, like cyber stalked me or anything, will know that I was wicked skinny before I had kids. And I was even wicked skinny after I had Faith. It just then I start my codependency on food happen. But I hate going because you're like, I have chronic sinusitis. What's your history? You've had it since you were 16. Okay. What do you do? What did you do to help prevent it? You know, like natal pods, teas, this, face mask, um, yoga, all this stuff. And then they're like, okay, well, that's antibiotics. And then you kind of you don't want a doctor that will just throw antibiotics as you've had it longer than 10 days. You want them to do a culture, because the thing is if you keep taking antibiotics every time you have a sinus infection, your body builds up an immunity to it. So like it's really hard. It's really, really hard. So I know realistically I need to make an appointment with the ENT, and making an appointments for ENTs out here is extremely hard because Maryland is like the allergy capital of the world. Like they'll be like, "Oh, we could see you 6 months from Tuesday," and you're like, "Okay, by that time." Um, and like a regular primary care doesn't know as much as an ENT does when it comes down to it. And the reason why I know I need to go to it, how you hear my voice going in and out, pretty soon it will go straight out. Postnasal drip is no joke. Sinuses suck. I know. I'm just probably saying September because I'm like kids back to school, but at the same time, I don't want them to. I have mixed feelings. I like right now they're all like asleep. I can go into one of the rooms and snuggle with one of them. Not Faith. She's not a snuggler. I'll get elbowed to the face. Good morning. Yes. Yes. Oh my God. You could be like, my index finger, I jammed it on the door. If you lost 10 to 20 pounds, you'll feel better. What? Wait, excuse me? Like, I, I promise you. So I had the worst scissor accident I've ever had is Grey's Anatomy. Because of this incident, I don't watch TV while I'm sewing. It was an episode I was hand quilting. It was the episode where the plane crash happened. So like season 8, like way far ago, because what, it's like season 14 or 16 or something like that. It was like season 8 when the plane crash happened and they left it in a cliffhanger. And I was like, "What?" And I cut my index finger like part of the meat off. I'm like running to the front door, and of course, I'm using my left hand to try to open up the door, and I can't. So Kendall finally comes in. He's like, "Oh my god, it looks like a CSI murder scene in here. Go to we need to wrap your finger and take you to the ER." So I'm in the ER, and the ER was like, "You wouldn't bleed as much if you lost, 15 to 20 pounds." And I'm like, that's 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 not how I Okay, if you wanna call me say you're fat, I'm gonna agree with you, but now just figure out how to fix the medical issue. Ta-da! Yeah. Oh, you started homeschooling today. Peace be with you. I have to actually start having my kids get up before 10 o'clock this week and then 9 o'clock next week. And I'm expecting some retaliation and grumpiness because this summer, this is the first summer that I'm usually a stickler with time, and I don't allow people sleeping in the house past 11 or anything because you won't sleep right at night. I'm a big person that thinks that for you to do really well at school, you need your rest. And most studies show that kids that have like higher GPAs or that are more active in school are people that sleep really well at night. So during the summer, my kids begged me for them to sleep in as long as they want it, and I'm telling you right now, it's been like a constant battle within myself every day. And now when I told them this week that they all have to get up before 10, they all were griping. And when I have to get off here and start slowly waking them up, it is not going to be a fun battle for me. And then next week is 9, and then the following week they go to school. So it's going to be hilarious for people looking out, but totally sucks for me. So yeah, they have to start getting one back to school mode. I don't think they're fully prepared for that. They've had like a fun free, like, do whatever you want summer, and they usually don't have that. There's usually something that one of them's in, like a camp, whatever, or this has just been a little bit more lax summer, and they have been relaxing. But I mean, it's good. I mean, think about it. They're in school for what, 10 months? And it's hard. They're it's hard for their little bodies. So, but this is like a big year. Faith graduates from high school this year. And after this school year, Hope goes into high school, and I'm just like there's so many big milestones. I know, like, okay, I get it. Weight is like America sucks. I know we're the fattest country in the world. I get it. I get it. It's like in my head, it's like I feel like, and this is just what I feel like, and maybe it'll come into fruition that general practice doctors should have a therapist or a psychiatrist work side by side with them. Hear me out. Things are triggering. There are people don't go to dentists. There are people that do never go to the doctors because how a doctor presents and talks to them, their bedside manner and what they say and how they say it can make them not wanna go because the bedside manner is superiorly lacking. So, if GPs had to take like, get with someone that's either, like, a licensed therapist or a psychiatrist, um, I think it will go better because I'm one of those people that don't wanna go to a doctor because it's gonna be like, "Okay, you're fat. Oh, you I'm surprised you don't have high blood pressure. You're fat. Do you have diabetes? No, I know you wanna say I have diabetes because 'cause I'm fat, but I don't have diabetes." So, like, it's just it gets to the point where you're just like, "I don't wanna go. I know what they're gonna do. I just don't wanna go." And this is I feel like ER doctors are a little bit they're trained a little bit more about bedside manner because then you're coming in and you can have a million different elements and they have to try to figure it out. And then they have to work with different colleagues to try to help figure out what is going on with you. But when you go to a general practice, it's just that doctor. Unless that practice has multiple doctors, it's just that doctor. There has to be, I just think maybe they should have like a thing where there's more than one doctor or there's a therapist or something to breed it in. So the therapist was like, do not address her weight if nothing's wrong with her for her weight. Like, don't say "Y- you don't have high blood pressure and I thought you had it because you're fat." Like that, how's that helping me? I don't have high blood pressure, so kudos to me, right? So I don't know. I I don't know, just or maybe a life coach with them for bedside manner, and I get it. It has to be really hard to be a doctor. Like, the doctors that I have and my friend that are family and friends, they all work behind the scenes. They actually don't work with any patients, like, they're chemists and things like that because they can't work they have the most horrible bedside manner, but I just feel like you have to have go through so many psychiatric evaluations to become a cop, right? And cops make nowhere as near as like a surgeon or a general practice does. You will not you have the physical, there's the mental, the psych evaluations and everything, and you have to continue to go through psych evaluations. I feel like these are things that doctors should have to go through too. I understand they've been in school for like 10 plus years. They pay like a bazillion dollars for their education, but I think that there needs to be something implemented within the system that they have to go through a psych evaluation on a monthly basis or where they get shadowed or if there's surveys like, okay, you went to Dr. Smith today, Shanova. How did you feel? He made me feel like shit. Like, he kept talking about I was fat. He tried to keep thinking about how I don't have high blood pressure, how I don't have diabetes, how I don't have all these other things or hypoglycemia because I'm fat. Instead, I came in there to tell him I can't breathe out of my nose and I have chronic sinuses. And here's all the paperwork, all the information on it. I need help. He just was stuck on the fact that I was fat. So I feel like maybe if they have like surveys or some kind of bedside manner like thing where they're getting evaluated at, the doctors may change the way they go about doing things. That's just my thought and my opinion. I'm nobody. Oh my god, yeah, lady doctor. When you have to go to the OB, ugh. Some are the coolest, but then there's some not. I feel like you can't win with the OB though, because like if you have an OB that's like cracking jokes and they're doing stuff, you're just like, I'd rather us remain in silence or something like I don't know. I feel like I know doctors have a very hard job, and I know bedside manner has to be incredibly difficult because especially these last couple of years, people just say whatever the hell that's on their mind, and it's kinda like they're waiters in some aspect. They are, like, taking your order, they're serving you, they're giving you what you need, and if you're being a complete jackal to them, they wanna retaliate. I mean, a doctor keep telling you you're fat can make you be like, "I get it. I need to lose weight, dude, okay?" Hey, Leslie. Oh, yeah. My sister is living proof, okay? My sister is tiny. She's not only tiny, like, tiny, she's tiny, like, to me. I'm 5'9" and a half, okay? Calissa is barely 5'3". She says she's 5'4". Maybe with some I don't know. What are those shoes, that have, like, the insoles that are like this big. Like, oh, Skechers. Maybe with some Skechers on, she's 5'4". Okay. Um, she's like Faith. They weigh like 100 pounds, soaking wet. They're just tiny people. My mom had cardiomyopathy when I was younger, and her heart was enlarged to the size of a basketball. She was gonna have to go on the heart transplant list, but between all the blood medication and giving her blood thinners and all this stuff like that, she was able to function. She has a pacemaker. She has all these stuff. She had it at a very young age. My sister, after she had my nephew, her whole leg swelled up to look like the size of an elephant. Like her whole leg was more swollen than she was as a person. So she goes into the doctor. We take her to the ER, and the ER is basically saying that her leg is swelling up because of sodium, because Black and Hispanic people eat a lot of salt. I shit you not. I was there, and again, no poker face. And then I may not be go like mama bear on myself, but if you're someone that I care about, I will annihilate another person. So before he even had the chance to finish that, I had I had the managers in there, I had the head doctors in there, and they were like, I can't believe you said that. And I was just ripping and roaring, and it turned out she had a blood clot. She had one of the biggest blood clot that Loma Linda University has ever seen. It was from her tip of her right toe all the way to her groin. And this guy was sitting here talking, saying it was sodium intake because we're Black and Hispanic. Although her blood pressure was normal, her urine was normal, everything was normal, her leg was just swollen. So, and she's tiny. So like that bedside manner to me has been something that I see that does not really happen a lot. And I feel like it's a key element that can make people want to go back, like to make you feel like you really are someone cares about you and really are trying to help you figure out what is going on with you. So that's just my 2 cents. Jenny, you're not even the normal size. The normal size in America is 14, 16. So that is crazy that they are even saying that to you. The normal size for women in America are size 14, 16. Yep. Yep, you can have that's another thing. I have friends um that had that has like seriously some women issues since they were little, and they are always told it's their weight, and they're tiny people too. Good morning from DC, Arnetta. I think it's gonna be storming over here soon too. I can feel the pressure in my face. Whenever whenever North Carolina, South Carolina, and in any of the Tennessee's area starts getting a storm, it always shifts up to here. We're just that area that we just get those little storms. I know, Jenny, as soon as that's how I am too. I got up and left the last time I went to the doctor because I was just like my sinuses. I was trying to explain to them that the swelling in my face and my out right, like you guys could probably physically see this area is more swollen than this area. My lymph nodes get swollen, and what happens is that when they drain, you'll hear my voice go deeper, deeper, and deeper, and it hurts to swallow. So I'm not this is not my first rodeo, so I wind up, doing throat lozenges, things to help spray in my throat to keep it numb so I can keep down drinks and stuff. But then they'll be like, "Well, if you lost, okay, so if I lost 10 pounds today, you're telling me this is gonna, okay, no, I've had doctors. The last time I went to the doctor, they were trying to give me the medicine that everyone is taking that to lose weight. And I was like, hard pass, because when the ramifications come from this drug, it's going to come freaking hard. Ooh, Poconos. I want to be where you are, Gypsy. I love the Poconos. Arnetta, that's what we need. That's a good thing. That there are good doctors out there. There are good doctors. Like when my mom, she had one doctor when she had cardiomyopathy because she's one of the youngest people there in Loma Linda University at that time that had it. She had the best doctors. Her doctors were all work together. They would have like meetings in reference to her. They made her feel that they cared about her, and it made her want to continue on the medication journey, physical therapy, all that because she had people in her corner that she knew was fighting for her. I know, Gypsy, you didn't pick me up, and I feel like that's wrong. You could have just been like Nova, and I would have been like, I'm ready to go. Yeah. That I agree. I have a lot of cousins that are RNs, LVNs, all kinds of nurses and nurse practitioners, and they all like working in the ER. I don't know how they do it. Because there are some people. Have you ever been into the ER and you've seen someone wilding out and you're just like, dang, I feel sorry for the staff. Like I would just want to just totally inject them with something to calm that patient down. This is why I'm not a doctor. I would be sneak attack, medicine in the neck, they're out. Yeah, with for every bad doctor there is 20 bad patients. Okay. There's there are bad patients. My dad is one of those. Like he goes in, he tells the doctor what it is, and like he doesn't even give the doctor a second to think. He'd be like, "Oh, so you don't know what it is? Where did you go to school?" Da, da, da. You're just like, "Damn, dad, just chill, pump the brakes, let her think." Like, there are bad patients. I'm never gonna take that away. And it's hard because how many times do you have to deal with the bad patients where you as a person are like, "You know what? I don't care about bedside manner." Like, F it. So it's hard. I know. I have tons, lots of family member that on my mom's side of the family that that are a part of the medical. And my dad, before he became an engineer for Texaco Oil Fighter, he worked in the mortuary. So I've been in the hospital around a lot. A lot. I have seen things that you're not supposed to see as a young child. My mom worked as like one of the candy stripe people to go to the thing, and then we just have chemists in the family, nurses, practitioners. We have all that in the family, so it's interesting because sometimes if I have something really wrong with me, I'll like buckle down and call a relative, like phone a friend, like this is what's going on, and they'll give me what they think I should do. And on my husband's side, he has a doctor that won all kinds of awards for being like the head OBGYN in Louisiana and everything. We're surrounded by medical. That's why Faith wants to be she wants to work in the nurse. She wants to be a nurse, but she wants to work in um as like a nurse practitioner or a head nurse, but for children's emergency for mental health. Everyone there that practice is not that side of the hospital is not available for a lot, but because we live by John Hopkins, our ER is broken down into 5 different parts. So if you come into the ER, you have to fit into these 5 different descriptions to get into one of them. The first one is general, like you're over the age of 18, there's nothing mentally going on with you and or you're not pregnant. If then the other part is a pregnant person, then they have 2 parts for the kids. General for kids, like, "Oh my god, my kid's throwing up nonstop," or like, "No, my kids are talking about unaliving themselves." There's that side, and there's also that side for adults. So there's 5 parts. So for the children's, psych ward, they have ER doctors and ER nurses and ER nurse practitioners, and that's where Faith wants to work. And I actually think she would be really good. She has a very calming demeanor about her, and I feel like she would help somebody that if they were if a kid was having a psychotic break, that they could feel like they could trust her. So at first I was like, no, 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 because you never know what people are going to do, but you can't live your life in fear. And if this is something that she feels passionate about, I'm going to support her 100%. So that's what she's trying to go for. Hope wants to be a vet, but she wants to work for a zoo, and she wants to particularly study under wolves and like foxes and things like that. So Ken, I'm not too sure what he wants yet. He's just gone into middle school and he hasn't expressed what he thinks he would be good at, but the other two have expressed what they wanted. Faith has been wanting to do be a nurse for like people that are going through a psychiatric breakdown or have to go into a 5150 hold for a very long time. And I think she actually would be really good. She has a very calming demeanor. Well, she's not driving me nuts. Yeah. Yes. I know. Oh, I was my OB said something really slick, like, "Well, it looks like you lost 5 pounds, so I thought we were talking about 10 or 20." I was like, "Well, I like candy, and I was depressed. I don't know what you want from me." Yeah. You have to, and that's the thing, you are someone that's important and whatever. It's just like, I don't know, I get embarrassed very easily. I even get secondhand embarrassment. I can't watch certain movies because something embarrassing happens, like I turn beet red. Secondhand embarrassment is real for me. I'll go mama bear on a friend, family, anyone that I know. Like, I will annihilate someone with you for you verbally in like a matter of seconds. But when it comes down to myself, I'm not a good advocate for myself. And then I get embarrassed to ask somebody else to advocate for me because I'm like, I'm a grown woman. I should be able to do it. It's just that secondhand embarrassment, and the embarrassment is real, dude. Yes. There's actually this episode of House, where there is a morbidly obese person that is basically kind of either in a bed or a chair, like there's no movement, and he has something going on with him. And as if you watch any of the episode of House, you kind of know how the Doctor House is kind of like a he's he's not a nice person. Um Everything that was going on with him, like kidney failure, everything was because he was fat. And like the guy just went smooth off. He's like, every doctor always says this, but I don't have high blood pressure, and that's because I'm fat. Or like he went off. And when they finally figured out what was wrong, it was a genetic thing that happens throughout like his whole entire family. And if somebody would have mentioned in his family, because he was like adopted, that this is a genetic thing that happens, that it could have been taken care of at a very young age. But throughout the whole 40 minutes, like every doctor that's seen him, even the ones with the best bedside manner, was like, "Oh, this is all happening because you're fat." And it's just crazy. I feel like it's crazy because I don't even take my kids to the ENT. If ENT tells my daughter or my son that, "Oh, you live in Maryland, you have allergies," I'm walking right out of there. That's not how it works. There's something that in Maryland that is making their allergies inflame, like they're having an allergic reaction for a reason. That's like, I don't know. That just makes no sense to me. You did like, "Oh, it's not a funny joke," because I'm obviously here for a reason and paying a co-payment for a reason. Yeah. I wanna go to the Poconos now, Gypsy. Thanks a lot. That's all I'm thinking about. Oh, no. Yeah, Ken had to get his tonsils out because he would snore like a freight train, like, when he was a baby. You'd be like, "Oh, he's so cute. Oh my god, why is he snoring like that?" And it turned out he kept getting, sinus infections and ear infections, and they were like, "We need to remove his tonsils and his adenoids." Worst procedure ever. Like, if you have to get this done, get it done as a kid. As an adult, just tough it out. Because I have known two people that got it as an adult, and one of them, when I came to visit them, they were drinking morphine out of a bottle. I kid you not. They were they were in so much pain. They were like, "Please just render me unconscious. Can you just hit me over the head?" I'm like, "What?" um, like Ken, it took him like 4 days to eat something, and I would have to get syringes full of like Gatorade or Pedialyte or water or apple juice, and like squirt it into his mouth because he didn't want to swallow, move, do anything. He was in so much pain. That was the word. Like, Kenken is the only kid that I've ever had where something medically happened, and he has like literally scarred me. I never understood when people talk about like trauma and being afraid of things. Kenken had his tonsils removed at 2 years old, right before his third birthday. Like, and it was the hardest 2 weeks of my life. Um, like, I don't even remember how many times I showered because I was like around the clock pair, and he was miserable. And then the second thing is he was in kindergarten and he got meningitis. And that was the scariest moment of our lives too. So because we thought he was ticking his head, and we were even told that the tick that he did for his head may be permanent because of the meningitis. So those two things are the only thing that happened medical wise that happened to my kids. None of my kids have broken any bones or anything like that. But those two things, and I don't want to ever go. I don't know how people go through it with a sick child. Like it has to be incredibly hard. All my kids have allergies. I blame that on me, but they all weirdly work through it. Man, popsicle sounds good right now. I'm not gonna even lie. Like the bomb pops, the one that has like the different like flavors, like it's like red, orange, and whatever. We have no ice cream trucks that ever. And I think it's because we live in a private community. This is the only thing I could think of because I hear ice cream trucks like down the way where the apartment complex are, but I think they're not allowed to come into our private community. And that just dawned on me. And we've been here for almost 10 years. um, I love ice cream trucks. I will put on some shoes and get ice cream. I will get a bomb pot or like the little Tweety Bird ice creams. I don't know. I like ice cream pops. Oh, Roanoke. There's some interesting things that happened over there. Good morning, Shannon. I like that's a good thing, Arnetta. That's the healthy weight is really good. I love my kid's pediatrician. Weird thing out here, he can practice your as long as your kids are underneath your insurance, which your kids could be underneath your insurance all the way through college. He has them. So he has like 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds still coming to his practice. Dr. Donkor is the best doctor in the world. If he could see me, I would do it. Like, but he's only a pediatrician. He is amazing. He like there was our when our insurance changed, there was a chance that he didn't take it. We quickly try to get our insurance changed back because that's the only doctor that my kids really see. And he is like amazing. He's a doctor that if your kid is sick on a Saturday or something and you're like, dude, Faith is sick. She has a temperature of this. We've been doing Tylenol, whatever. She's congested. She has a cough, and he will like go over things, send medication to CVS so you can just go pick it up so you don't have to go to the urgent care. You don't have to go like he is an amazing doctor. And he'll be like, follow me on Monday. I'll have my office call and put you in the first appointment to see the kids. So he's just a really good person. Thank you, Jenny. Good morning. Yes, I agree with you. Don't Google your own things because people will freak you out. Like you Google, I have a mole on my face. They'll be like, you might have stage 5 skin cancer, and you're like, what? I'm like, no, no, that's yeah. Don't Google. It's just easier with me with my sinuses. Like again, I've had them since I was 16, and I've had migraines since around the same age. So those are the only two elements that I ever really have to go to a doctor for. Like I've never been like, oh, my upper back hurts or lower back hurts or whatever. It's only these two elements. Oh, an Olympic swimmer. Oh, that'd be yeah. That's a good goal to have. Yeah, secondhand dude, secondhand embarrassment's real. I don't know. He like my Kindle will be like, "Why are you turning red?" I'm like, "I can't watch this. This is embarrassing." This is secondhand embarrassment's real. I even do that one like if someone does something on a live and like, oh, I goofed up or whatever, or they do something really funny. Like I was watching this person tell like they were doing remember there was a series like in the 90s or the 2000 where the they will tell you three stories and one of them is true and the other two ones are false. Well, this YouTuber kind of has a show like that where they'll tell you three stories, one is true and two is not, and you have to guess at the end. Well, at the end of one of her episodes, she was sitting back and she was like, "Yeah, which one?" And the chair broke, and it was on a live stream. I didn't know if to laugh, cry, or just start hyperventilating for her. I didn't know. It was very uncomfortable, and I didn't know what to do. And the thing is I was really into it. I was like, yeah, the first story is true. The first story is true. But we never got to that because she had to cut out because she was like, my back hurts or whatever. But yeah, secondhand embarrassment is real. Let's see. Oh, you got your tonsils out at 20? Oh man, no. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's not as hot and humid as the humidity. Yeah, it's bad. Not as bad as it was like the a few weeks ago where it felt like you were walking through a hot, wet paper towel and you're just like, why? 20 though. My friend's husband got it out when he was 40. He was the one that was drinking morphine out of the bottle. I was like, am I actually witnessing this? And he was so miserable. I felt so bad. He day 3 was the worst for him. He had to wind up going back to the ER, and the ER took him in for a night to give him medicine around the clock and to help because he was just like in pain. Like he was so like he wasn't eating or drinking, so his kidneys started acting up because he was in so much pain. Like he didn't want to move, nothing, and they were like, okay, we need to hospitalize him. I do feel like for that procedure that it shouldn't be an outpatient procedure. I feel like they should at least keep you for 2 to 3 days just to make sure you're hydrated. That's just my thought. I'm not a doctor, nor do I study anything for medical. Just firsthand watching Ken the first 3 days were incredibly hard, but watching adults, they have it worse. They say that that procedure is so much worse over anybody that's over the age of 6 than it is someone that's a toddler or whatever. And it makes me think, is it worse because they really can't say anything? Like, screw this, I'm in pain, I'm gonna give up, you know? Just I don't know. Ken does not remember it, but and Kendall was at work most of the time, but I literally still go into the room and check on him every now and again just to make sure everything's okay because I didn't sleep. Every time he moved or anything, I was like, okay, what do I do? What do I do? It was a tonsil, getting your tonsils and adenoids removed is not an easy thing. Oh my God. Jiminy. That has to be hard. Wait, how did it grow back? Wait, they could grow back? So many questions now. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. He and it's because he's the kid that doesn't cause the most trouble. Like the other two, like Hope and Faith are like freaking Mortal Kombat like every day. Like it's because and I don't want to say it's because I share a room. I shared a room with my sister, and yes, we got in our fair share of fights. But like Hope and Faith bring it to the next level. And the thing is that Hope has been like a G unit since she was like 2. Like I can't explain it. She has never let her size fool her. It's hard to bully that girl. That girl, she goes 0 to 100 real quick. Like it's just so yeah, and Ken, there's no brother, so he's always had his own room, and he's just really quiet kid. He's always been like the teacher's like, oh, he's helpful. He's that kid that opens up the door for you. He has flaws. Like he can't see. He has to wear glasses, and he refuses to wear his glasses, or he loses them, or lets Loki eat them. I cannot tell you how many pair of glasses Loki has ate. It would make you mad because every time I think of it, my eye starts twitching. There's just something about Kendall stuff and Kendall that Loki always are trying to eat their stuff. It's pretty funny, except when it's glasses. I didn't know. I don't now. I didn't know they grew back. I thought once they burned them or cut them, that was it. I had my tonsils and adenoids. They always want to take them. I'm like, screw that. Unless you're gonna have me heavily sedated for the next 4 days afterwards, I don't want to be a part of this. I've seen what it does. I don't have the patience as a toddler. I will be like throwing a fit. Okay. uh See, people like, mm-mm, no. Yeah, his was pretty big too for 2 to 5, and they were like, we gotta take him. Oh, see, no, oof. See, like I was only reason why kept doing it because he would also get the tonsil stones, and I was like, okay, he would go in, and then I'm already weird about antibiotics because when you have my sinuses sometimes are so bad that I have doctors. My last ENT would just have antibiotics that I can just fill at the pharmacy myself without going in. And that started to scare me because I'm like, when is my body going to start resisting um, the medication? So there's that. Oh yeah, I have acid reflux. Yeah, too. I've had that ever since I was little too. And it always sucks because they because when I was skinny, they were like, "Oh, you're black and Hispanic. It's common for people to have acid reflux. You guys eat more hot and spicy food." I was just like, "Well, damn, I can't win for sure." So, yeah, and Hope has it too. She has it too. Like, if it's like pizza night, my poor little Hobie, she'll be like popping two tums or like getting a protein pump medicine so that she can take it. Unlike if I make spaghetti, I have to peel all the layer of um, because tomatoes are part of the nightshade family. Tomatoes actually eat too many tomatoes. It's actually quite poisonous. So, but the most poisonous part of a tomato is the skin. So I do a boil cold blanch real quick, peel the skin off, and then I make the sauce and remove all the seeds. So that way she doesn't get acid reflux. But yes, I have acid reflux too. It's super fun. It doesn't flare up that much, but when it does, I feel like I'm dying. Wait, you had your tonsils taken out so they can come back? Wait, I did not know that. Now I'm gonna have to research some stuff. Yeah, I'm the person that no one ever wants to see me get the flu. I have I ever since this is since I was little, like something I have really low magnesium and extremely low potassium. So like if if I get dehydrated, generally I'm usually back in an ER or urgent care getting a pick line again trying to hydrate me because my you will not be able to get a vein for me. And yeah, I have like trauma from the pick lines that they like to put in my right arm. Yeah, it's crazy how they could find. I'm telling you, my dentist was the one that diagnosed me with chronic sinusitis. So I went. I was 15 going to 16, and I kept telling them like the back of my jaw hurts, and they're like, "Oh, it's TMJ." He does the scan test where they scan and do like that weird X-ray thing. And he's like, one, you have an impacted wisdom tooth. Two, you need to go to an ENT right away. He's like, you have the worst sinuses I've ever seen. He's like, I have never actually seen sinuses and congestion in an X-ray. So he shows me the X-ray, and it's like clouds all through here. And he was like, I have never seen sinuses like that. So I brought the X-rays to an allergist, and the allergist was like, okay, we might want to do surgery. We need to drain these. Da, da, da. So I was on all these different steroids. It's a really crazy scenario, but it was because of my dentist is how I started figuring out because I would have like horrible facial pain, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's part of migraines." So I just uh, thought it was migraines. And yes, your sinuses can trigger migraines, but yeah, I have bad sinusitis. Oh, Lynette, that sounds well. I mean, dang, Christmas break. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna hang out with my friends. No, having surgery. Yeah, you're not I can't. I Because antibiotics, because your body becomes resistant to them the more you take them. And then there's some antibiotics that have like some horrible side effects. So there's one antibiotics that they love to give people with chronic sinuses, and one of the side effects is that it can mess with your tendons. And if you go to that particular antibiotics and look at the people's history on it, there are people that can all their tendons literally snapped in their body. I'm good. I'm good. I'm just gonna suffer in silence. It's Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every time I go in there, because I'm fat, they're like, "Oh," and they find out I'm black, they find out I'm Hispanic, they're like, "I bet you have high blood pressure." They do my blood pressure and they're like, "Oh, it's a little low. I just thought," yeah, I know what you thought, 'cause you just like just different things, just very different things based off of nationality. There is assumptions, and there's assumptions for every nationality. I went with a couple of my friends that are like of Asian and Indian descent, and they were told certain things. Unfortunately, I mean, I guess these people get desensitized because they see people day in and day out, and medical journals are like that. They'll try to say that this nationality has more, high blood pressure than this nationality. And it's kind of hard to gauge these things because there's a lot of people that don't go to the doctors. They refuse. So eh, it's based off of what people are actually coming in versus the reality of everyone, if everyone came in. See. Yeah, my migraines are weather related too. So that sucks. Um, so, like, I'll be like my face will be throbbing, it'll be like, "The climate's changing." Like, and my husband's like, "I feel sorry, mine's is based off of weather." There is a special steroid medicine that you could take to go up your nose. I forgot, it has the longest name ever, but this medicine is not covered through most insurance, and the bottle itself can be like 4 or 500. But if you take it within 10 minutes, the headache goes away. I got a sample one time and I was like, "Why can't I be rich?" Because this would be a medicine I could take. It was like it went from I felt I freaked out because I didn't have head pain. I don't know what that's like. There's usually something, an inkling, a little ache or whatever, but to feel absolutely nothing scared the living heck out of me because I don't know what that's like. And that was the first time that I've ever experienced that. It was like someone sprayed something up my nose to numb the pain. It was really crazy. So yeah, mine's my sinuses trigger my migraines as well as the weather pressure. It is what it is. And dust and dander. So I'm not, unless I'm going to live in it. There's no way to as you can hear, my voice is going to go in and out cuz the draining. There's no way I'm going to get rid of dust and dander. So yes, the Achilles ones, yes. There are some horrible stories about that medicine, and they still pop it out. That is, like, their favorite that particular one that is their favorite to give to people with, sinus infection because it really does knock it out. Just the ramifications of that is horrible. Just like they really don't give out Z packs anymore for it because, it does absolutely nothing to a person that has chronic, um sinuses. It actually does absolutely nothing. No, I have all the bags that I had today are tester bags, so I can't show them. But I did say that one of the tester bags I made. Oh, I can show you this part. One of the tester bags that I made is my bag that I'm going to be bringing to So Magical. And look what I did. I stitched my name on the strap. Don't ask. It was like towards the end and I didn't want to get up. But isn't this the prettiest color vinyl ever? Or not vinyl, cork ever. It's called Destiny from So Sweetness. So yeah, this bag is mine. I did post it in the tester group. They loved it. I used Tula Pink in this cork, and I'm like, this is the bag that I'm gonna bring to So Magical. And as soon as I can show it to the public, I'm switching everything over and wearing this bag. Yeah, I was like, ooh, let me put my name on it. And Kendall was down here doing pictures, and he was like, what? I was like, yeah, let me put my name on it. And he was like, what? So yeah, this one has my actual name on it. It's really pretty. I can't wait to show you guys. This designer really knocked it out of the park. It has a very vintage bowler feel, and the minute I seen the bag, I was like, this one's going to be mine that I'm going to wear. Um, I just seen that Sonar did an update to her Triskel wallet, and you guys all know I my wallet that I've had for the past 3 years has been the Triskel wallet. So I have enough of this core color to make another one. I'm going to make a Triskel wallet so I can match that. I was really happy. I spent all day, took all of my time to do it. And then on Saturday, I did another test that I did a Loki bag, and it is pretty cool. I kind of did the same thing where I took scraps of different colors that are in his color wheel and his palette to make the bag, and I'm really pleased with it. So that's it. Today is all about housekeeping with doing things for social media and inventory. I know. It'd be like also it's just a cool way if someone decides to ever take your bag, you'd be like, no, my name is actually on the bag. just just throwing it out there. I need to close up the zipper pocket on that. That was the last thing I need to do. I was so tired I didn't do it last night. Yeah, I'm looking for the tester bags are really fun. Are really, really fun. This I oh, one person, it was like the second time I test for them, but it'll be the first time you guys see the tester. The first test I did for them is part of something that's going to be happening next month. So I can't wait to show you actually both those bags. And this one probably will be coming out before the end of the month. It's so far all the tester bags have been amazing. It's pretty interesting how they put this together too, to be honest with you. Because I was trying to think of some bags with a similar style that are not put together this way. So I like when designers like, hey, mix it up and put something different in there. It always makes me happy. So, yep. So today is writing down instructions and trying to peg down my PDFs and everything like that for my little bag, and just chilling with the kids and watching TV and just relaxing because this congestion is not fun, and staying hydrated. And I told Karen, Kendall, was like, if I still sound froggy on I said Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those, then I'll go to the doctor's. But yeah, so I'm gonna make a couple more of these. And that's it. I'm gonna try it with water resistant canvas instead of waterproof canvas. No, this is water resistant. All right. I hope you guys have a really good day. I'm about to head off too, and I will talk to you guys all tomorrow. Okay, bye.